So I just finished watching a video of Moyers and Company with the episode titled How People Power Generates Change. And before the activists that they're interviewing are brought on, the host talks about how today our world has inequality, poverty, corruption, and dysfunction. And I think this really becomes evident when we hear what the activists have to talk about and the stories that they tell about people they've encountered and people throughout history. And so they bring on activists Marshall Ganz, Rachel LaForest, and Madeline Janis to describe how we, the people, can fight organized money and deliver social change. And so when they bring on Marshall, one of the things they talked about within inequality was a quote that he actually made. And the quote is, "The inequality between blacks and whites are driven by a deeper inequality, which is power." And they talk about how inequality and wealth can be a driving force in these tensions. I think this is really true because when you look at communities that suffer from poverty, the wealth builds up within the whites, and we see this in places even close to here like Birmingham, where a lot of people are never given a chance, and these tensions drive even farther within the minority groups. They talk about how deep structural problems in the political system are also a huge problem. And when we think about voting and the different areas that do count more for voting, we can see how this can really deal with wealth and the minority groups that live in certain areas due to their income, and how this kind of takes their voice away in political situations and just allows the cycle to keep on going, still driving these tensions between blacks and whites. And one of the second things they talked about with Rachel LaForest and Madeline Janis was about organizing activism. And they've done some awesome things within organizing activism in the housing communities. So there's a huge homeless epidemic, obviously, throughout the nation. And they talked about the best way in fighting this is the Center for Story-Based Strategy, and giving a lot of the people that are struggling on a daily basis a voice and an opportunity to speak up. Because a lot of people that come to America believe that the American dream starts with having a home. And so they're trying to change this idea and give people access to a home and access to a community, because when their overall motivation is changing, it changes their whole attitude about the American dream and does give them more of a voice to fight for what they need to eventually have a home.